Welcome to the Astrology Magic Podcast, where deep truth meets radical transformation. I'm Rachel, your astrologer and guide, here to speak the kind of truths that rattle around in your head until they land in your body and change your life. This podcast is not here to meet you where you're at. It's here to meet you where your soul is begging to go. I don't do light and fluffy. I do real, raw, cellular level evolution through astrology, presence, embodiment, and self-honesty. If you're tired of superficial spirituality and ready to live in alignment with your highest self, even when it's uncomfortable, you're in the right place. Let's drop in. I'm back from my dream trip in Italy, and I'm so excited to tell everyone about my trip. This is going to be a different type of episode. I want to tell you about my trip in Italy. I want to tie it in with the astrology right now. And just kind of riff. So, I had some really interesting realizations while I was in Italy. And the realizations came out of the fact that I was so present there and enjoying just like this sensual experience that Italy is so much that I didn't have much desire to look at astrology or talk about astrology. And it's almost like my brain got to this like completely different place. It's almost like it got to this place of just like silliness and blah, blah and whatever and have fun and like making weird jokes. And like, I'm the weirdest person ever. Just like every single person on this planet is the weirdest person ever. It's just that when you get to know someone, you see how weird someone really is. And I have felt that my weirdness has been like, I don't know, drained out of me the last 4 or 5 years as I started my business and got into the coaching space. Like, I feel like I got so serious. Like, so, I don't know, just like obsessed with always evolving and healing and sounding enlightened and like coming up with something that is just like the highest consciousness perspective. God, I'm getting hot. One sec. And I realized I got so in my head, like even with astrology, and I don't know what to do about this. So I'm just going to share it here and we'll see how this goes moving forward. But I don't know. I just feel like astrology pulls me into my head. Every time it was raining out or something and we're taking a break and I decide to look at the charts as I normally do when I'm bored, I would start to analyze and it didn't feel good. I felt like I was using my brain, and it had felt so good to not use my brain that when I was analyzing the astrology, I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it at all. It's so weird to say that because I've been obsessed with astrology for years now. And this is also just a pattern in my life where I get obsessed with things. Like, I'm 110% type person. When I am in it, it's the only thing I think about. It takes over my whole life. I almost need to like transform my whole life to fit around this thing I'm obsessed about. So like the first 20 or so years of my life, that was nutrition. And it's why I got my degree in nutrition and like eventually just became an intuitive eater. Because if you've listened to my episodes, you know I learned everything about nutrition, everything about health, everything about food, only to realize that all the answers were inside myself. Go figure. And so then after nutrition, my next obsession was cannabis. I started growing cannabis, and I literally would spend all day with my plants to the point where then I needed to work at a dispensary and I needed friends who liked cannabis. Like, it became my whole life, just like nutrition did. And then that died down, because whenever you give like 110% and you're obsessed with something for years, at least for me, I'm a manifesting generator. I naturally just get like to this point of like, I don't fucking care about this at all anymore. Like, I remember the last couple years we worked, or the first year and a half I worked at the dispensary, best time of my fucking life. Then we got bought by this corporation and it got way more boring. And then I got all these raises and I became this like manager, and it was not fun at all. And then if something's not fun for me, I can't do it. Like, I don't have that bone in my body. I know a lot of people have that bone in their body who can just like work at a job they hate or like do something they hate and they're fine with it for years and years and years. I have never been that person my whole life. And it's probably why I've lived a very different path from anyone else that I know. Like the girl who was begging their parents to let me go to weight loss camp when I was 9. Not many people did that, and then became obsessed with nutrition, and it became my home life. So I've always just been, I have to follow the passion. I have to follow this, my heart, this thing in my chest here. Boom, boom, boom. And what happens is like I just said, so retreats came after cannabis. And it always comes after like a big lull. So like I started getting bored of cannabis. I didn't know what to do. I started attending women's retreats to find some sort of relief. And then I started hosting retreats. I became obsessed with hosting retreats. I keep forgetting how many retreats I hosted. It was 6 or 7 in 2 years, in 2.5 years, actually. I hosted 6 or 7 retreats because I became so obsessed with them. And I filled the first one with 14 people when I had no retreat hosting experience, no clients before, really no friends before. I don't even know how I filled that thing. But I've just learned that passion is my propellant in life. And so then I switched from retreats to talking about astrology. And I don't know where I'm at with this right now, but I feel myself getting a little bored with it. Is it ridiculous to admit that on an astrology podcast that I'm getting bored with astrology? And every time I'm in something like this, I think I'm never going to get bored with it. It's kind of like friends I've had throughout my life. They're like my best friend, and I think I'm never going to get over them. They'll be my best friend for life. And then life happens. We start to grow apart, and I don't want to be their friend anymore. I'm like, nope, never mind. I felt that way about you at one time, but not now. I've had that with boyfriends too. Has not happened with Ryan. I don't think it will ever happen with Ryan because he evolves and grows with me, and he just gets more and more exciting. I think he's my longest friendship relationship I've ever had that's been this intense and this deep and has gone through this much evolution. So what I'm getting at is right now, this fits in with the astrology. Right now, Jupiter in Gemini is squaring the North Node in Pisces, and the North Node in Pisces is with Saturn. And so while I'm not analyzing and looking at a lot of astrology, I was looking at that and how I'm feeling. Because with the North Node in Pisces, we're really feeling into, and I'm really feeling into, what am I feeling? Instead of being so logical about it. Like anytime I've ever gotten into this passion in my life, this thing that becomes all-consuming, that transforms me into a new way of being and a new way of living. It's come from a feeling, not a thought. And I can feel the energy shifting in me right now. And my brain is freaking the fuck out. My brain doesn't know what's fun next. I have some ideas. But I don't know. So I'm just taking it one step at a time. But basically with this aspect, it's like a lot of these thoughts could be coming up, like Jupiter and Gemini. Gemini is what we know. So I'm having a lot of thoughts coming up. I'm having thoughts come up around like, well, you have to make money. Well, you just had your website built. Well, you just started this business. It's doing pretty well. Are you really going to like lean into something else now? again, I'm not saying I'm going to lean into something else right now. I'm just telling you what's going on in my head right now. My mind is just not wanting to analyze things, and I'm not wanting to overthink. I'm kind of sad that I'm back from Italy because it felt so good to be in the void in Italy. And now that I'm back home, it doesn't feel as good to be in the void because I don't have all this new beauty, like new experiences to like, you know, distract me basically. I can't escape anymore. And so what was fun for me is reading Reddit stories. I've been obsessed with reading Reddit stories recently. There's a few peak creators that I follow. One is Storytime Society, and it's so funny because whenever I play Storytime Society, Ryan gets so annoyed. He hates that. He does not like listening to this girl at all. And it's funny because I really enjoy listening to her. I just like her personality and her energy. I don't agree with most of the things she says. And I know that's why Ryan doesn't like to listen to her, because she says some shit that I'm just like, damn, girl, we would never really be friends in real life because I do not think like that. And that's kind of toxic and no, and what the fuck. But I don't know. I just find her fun and I like her energy. And so I still listen to her. It does something for me, even if I don't agree with anything that she says. I'm kind of just like that kind of person. Are you that kind of person? I don't know why. I love listening to people. If I just like your vibe, I don't care what you're saying. Like, I don't care if I don't agree with you. I don't care. I'm not a political person. I've never been political, but I do have certain political views that people talk about that I'm like, absolutely no. Like, absolutely no. Like, I'm not. Like, I was never on the liberal side and I was never a Republican, but I definitely am not on the Democratic Party side at fucking all. At fucking all. And I guess I'm just telling you that. And if you are, I'm sorry, you might hate me, but I'm not. I am for transgender people, but not how fucked up it's gotten. I'm actually for real transgender people, not this fake bullshit. Sorry if you just want to stop listening to me after this, but this is my truth. And that's because I know real transgender people, and it is an insult. An fucking insult where this movement has gone. I might even cry over it. Okay, it's because someone who's so important to me. I guess I'm going to tell this story. No, it's completely off topic. I'm not going to tell this story. So, how did I even get onto this political thing? Oh, I just like to listen to people who I don't agree with at all. She agrees with all of these things that I so don't agree with, but I just really enjoy listening to her, and I just like her. So I don't care that she talks about all of that stuff. So I've been really enjoying Reddit stories. And on some of these Reddit stories that I listen to, they give their own advice and like their own reactions. And I think I'm going to start a YouTube up around that, or maybe I even put it on this podcast. And maybe I put a form out for you guys and you ask questions for advice. And hopefully it's not just about astrology. I know you're listening to me for astrology, but if you haven't noticed, I like to use astrology to give advice, to talk about how to navigate life. And one thing I can say about myself is I am the best friend you will ever have because I give the best advice. I see you to your core, and I see your highest self. And I hold you to your highest self, but I also am like the best at pumping you up as a friend. And I can be fun and funny and silly and all the things. And so I've been thinking about just reading some Reddit stories in addition to doing some astrology and then giving advice. So if you have a certain scenario that's happened in your life, like a crazy scenario, and you want to send it in to me, that could be a really fun thing that we start to do on this podcast. I'm just spitballing here. I'm spitballing because I want to have more fun. And I don't understand why I can't just do it on this podcast. I know it's the Astrology Magic podcast, but why can't we, like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's my life. I guess I could start another podcast, but that feels like more work, and I'm about ease and simplicity. My sun is in Taurus. I'm about simplicity. So yeah, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about Italy. This was my dream trip. It was exhausting because so much walking, so many more stairs. There's so many lies people told us about Italy, so many things people did not tell us. So, for example, the Amalfi Coast. We spent 9-10 days out of our trip. We got a house in Sorrento and we were going to explore the whole Amalfi Coast. I will tell you, I like Sorrento the most. Sorrento is the GOAT, the best of the whole trip. We went to Rome 5 days before we stayed in Sorrento. Sorrento fucking kicks Rome out of the water. Also me and Ryan just aren't city people. We're ocean people, farm people, nature people, well, especially Ryan. Ryan's a people person. I love people too. I just more so like to be around people who are open and happy and in good energy. I don't really like to be around snobby, I'm cool type people. I don't like I think you know what I'm talking about. And Sorrento just kicks all of the boxes. Beauty to the nines. It's not all stairs, which I'm going to get to in a second. The Amalfi Coast, it's gorgeous, but you go there and it's just stairs. Your whole life is stairs if you go to the Amalfi Coast. I don't really get it. I was actually severely disappointed with the Amalfi Coast. I watched so many YouTube videos on the Amalfi Coast saying, is it really worth it? Everyone said it was worth it. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't get it. Sorrento is equally as beautiful, but you can actually walk places and the people are awesome and it's easy to get around and it's not all exclusive and it's a very affordable. It's not cheap, but it's very affordable. And the Amalfi Coast is just not. We went to Positano one day and I wanted to see the shops in the town, so we start walking upstairs, only to find out we were walking upstairs forever and the stairs went nowhere. It was just a stairs path to get higher and higher up Positano because there's literally nothing to see except for this little strip of land at the very bottom that's the smallest beach ever and then shopping. So basically, the Amalfi Coast, yeah, beautiful. You can take a little screenshot picture and it's postcard beauty. But the beaches aren't very awesome. They're small. You either have to get a beach club pass or they're rocky. Just not that nice, to be honest. That was one of the things with Sorrento, too. We went to the beach in Sorrento, also a small beach, but then we went to this rock cove thing. It was very rocky. It's very rocky at these beaches. So I will say that's a little disappointing. But we went to Capri on my birthday. That day was really awesome. We took a private boat and we got these yummy treats on board and Prosecco and they brought us all around Capri and we got to see all these different monuments and a guy gave us a guided tour and it was super cool. But when we actually went on Capri for 4 hours, we had this 4 hours to ourselves. I did not need 4 hours. I did not like Capri itself. It was probably my least favorite place that we went to in Italy. Again, you have to climb basically a mountain to get to the shopping center. We found out at the end that there is this, I don't know, a shuttle thing that brings you up the mountain from the boats to the center, but then the center wasn't even fun. We climb a mountain to get up to where all the action is. And it has all of these really high-end stores like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. You window shop and there's a chest in front of you that's $45,000. I'm not buying a $45,000 Louis Vuitton chest. Basically every store up there was like that. Even when I'm a billionaire, I will not buy a $45,000 Louis Vuitton chest. I think it's embarrassing. I just don't. I'm not a designer person. I have very strong feelings about all of that. I just feel like it's Hollywood stuff and it's just about, look at me. It's some sort of brand. I could give two shits about brands, When I have billions of dollars, I'm not buying Louis Vuitton. I will never buy a designer bag. I don't feel cool buying a designer bag. I feel cool bringing all of my friends on amazing lavish trips, treating people who deserve it to amazing lavish things, like getting things for people, like giving back with my money. I don't want a $45,000 Louis Vuitton trunk. So Capri also attracted a certain, obviously, caliber type of person, and there are a lot of wealthy people I am friends with that are good vibes, awesome people, but a lot of the people that we were running into there just kind of like had their nose down or up, wherever the nose goes with these people that I'm talking about. Like, it was definitely people who had a lot of money who were a little snotty about it. Not the kind of people with a lot of money who are fucking awesome, because I know tons of those people. And yeah, it's just not super easy to make friends and like have cool conversations with people on Capri. I mean, in Positano, we actually had some cool conversations with some guy at lunch. Sorrento, though, made for the chill, made for like meeting people, talking, having conversations, people so sweet, like all these small mom and pop shops. I got so much linen. Oh my God, I have a whole new wardrobe, literally, of all organic linens, real natural fibers. I'm so excited about it. So yeah, liked Positano more than Capri, but I loved the Capri boat trip. But I didn't want to see any more Amalfi towns after we went to Capri and Positano, because I was like, I'm done with these stair villages that are all stairs and little beaches and little shopping. Because also I was shopped out. I spent way more money than I ever thought I would when I was there. And I don't have credit cards, so... But yeah, I got like so much food. I probably got like 20 pounds worth of olive oils and like pestos that I brought home with me, because the food was everything. My favorite part of the whole trip was in Sorrento. We did a cooking class the second to last day we were in Sorrento. And oh my God, me and Ryan loved it, because the people who were doing the cooking classes were awesome. They spoke pretty good English too. And we were just like fucking around with them and joking. And like our whole crew was American, actually, outside of the Italians who owned the farm. But we were fucking around with the Italians. Like, they were super cool and awesome. All the Americans were awesome. We were talking about weed. We were like having wine. The conversation was flowing. It felt like I was, I don't know, in college or at summer camp, when you live with all your friends and you're just having the best time ever. And it was like the best view ever. And definitely the highlight of their trip. I highly recommend a cooking class in Sorrento, especially where we did it. You can email me if you want to know if you're going to Italy, and I'll send it to you. The Airbnb we stayed at in Sorrento was the best ever. So our Airbnb host... Whoa. So our Airbnb host, his name was Giovanni. His birthday was actually the day after mine. And when you go to Italy, you have to give people your passports. And so we gave him our passport so he knew which day my birthday was. And when we came back from our Capri boat trip on my birthday and we get to his house, he's like our little taxi. He taxied us around everywhere. Everyone needs to stay with Joe if you go to Sorrento. Sorrento. That's how I was saying it the whole time. It's so, I kept saying to Ryan, I just like staying in Sorrento. So Joe, he taxied us everywhere we wanted to go. We didn't have to pay for any taxis. And in addition to that, he owns a bunch of farms. So like this Airbnb is on all farmland. And when we got there, he gave us like this olive oil their farm makes and limoncello. And he gave us multiple bottles of the limoncello. And he gave us garlic they grew and chili peppers they grew and all these different things. And I ended up cooking really yummy meals at our Airbnb. Our Airbnb was huge. It was like we had our own apartment. Like, it was huge. 2 bathrooms. I love, what are they called? Bidets. Bidet. I heard someone saying the correct accent on YouTube. Bidet. Bidet. I love it. I love the bidets. You get some clean action down there, especially ladies, if it's your time of the month. I don't know if this is TMI for people, but I had my time of the month while I was there. I loved having a bidet. I loved it. Oh my God, I felt clean all the time. I was just like, yeah, it's just so good. Again, it was like all the sensual pleasures, even the washing felt sensual. But this Airbnb we stayed at, it overlooked all of Sorrento. So it's on a farm overlooking all of Sorrento. We had multiple places we could sit out and watch the sunset at night. We honestly loved coming back to our Airbnb because it had the best views of all of Sorrento. It was so cozy. We could have food, we had cheese, we had wine on the balcony a lot of the nights. It was so nice. You could hear the birds, just constantly, so many birds. It was orgasmic with birds. And on my birthday, we get home from Capri and Joe gives me, he saw it was my birthday and gave me all these amazing pastries from, I think, this bakery that's down the street. So that's another amazing thing about this Airbnb. Me and Ryan met we call him our Italian grandfather because it's a couple minutes down the street, and we'd get yummy pastries every night. He had gelato. We'd go there in the morning and he'd make us espressos, and he was so jolly, and he tried to give us things for free, and we were like, dude, no, we're paying you. Everything here is €1. It's so cheap. Please let us pay you. We have a picture with him. He's fucking awesome. We met this girl who owns a limoncello and olive oil farm at that pastry place. She gave us a free tour of her farm because we ran into her multiple times at the pastry place, to the point where she's like, let me give you a free tour of my farm and free limoncello and free this. And we were just this is why we love Sorrento. We were just meeting people and getting hooked up left and right, and everyone's so friendly. And then Joe, his birthday was the day after mine, and I didn't know. So he gives me my birthday gift. The next day, he's like, I have something for you guys tonight too. And he gives us this lemon delizia. It's I forget exactly what it's called, but it's this national, I don't know, it's the dessert of Sorrento. And it's so good. And apparently in Italy, when it's your birthday, you give the gifts, we found out. Or people give you gifts too, but it's customary for you to give food and stuff. And so then before we left, we went to the bakery we loved, and we got him more of those lemon delusias, whatever they're called. And we were like, here, this is for your birthday. So we got treats on my birthday. Then he gave me treats on his birthday. It was just everything. So good. I didn't even talk about Rome, but Rome was cool. The highlight of Rome was we took microdoses to go to the Vatican. And it was really cool to see all the art, of mushrooms I'm talking about. And we saw the art, and we walked through the gardens, and it was really cool. We couldn't go into the Sistine Chapel because literally the day I got tickets I bought these 2 tickets back in February. But the day we had tickets for was the day the Pope was getting picked. I think he got picked while we were there, because we were there at 1:30 p.m. and I'm pretty sure everyone said he got picked around that time. We just weren't paying attention. So that was really cool. We went to this really cool market called the Pistachio Market, and Ryan got a whole new wardrobe in Italy also. He got it at that market, and I got yummy cacao with pepe. And a really cool thing was that day we watched this YouTube called Yes Theory. And Yes Theory, they have 10 million followers on YouTube, but me and Ryan watch them because they travel to all these different places around the country, and it feels like you get to experience new places through traveling through them. And so we've been obsessed with them forever. And we're walking back from the Pistachio Market, and I decide to take a picture of this gelato place. I wanted to see how many stars it had to see if we wanted to go to it later. When I stopped us to do that, Ryan was like, Rachel, is that Tomas from Yes Theory? And these guys are, I think, European. They're not Italian, but they travel all over the world. They could be anywhere in the world, but they happen to be right there in Rome, and we stopped. And I was like, that is him. And so he went to the ATM. We didn't want to say hi while he was at the ATM because we thought that would be weird. So we waited for him to be done with the ATM, and we came up and we were like, Tomas! And he said, yeah. And we're like, oh my God, it is you! And we got to meet him, and that was so cool. So that was definitely the highlight of our round trip, is running into Tomas from Yes Theory. Rome itself, really cool. I probably could have stayed 3 days and been more than happy. I don't think I really need to go back now that we stayed 5 days. By the 5th day, me and Ryan were like, get us the fuck out of here. Sorrento, though, we could have stayed in the rest of my life. I think Sorrento is going to become a place we go back to as often as we can. So, that was my Italy adventure. My cup is so full. My closet is even fuller. And yeah, it's really good to be back with Pierre. And now I am doing astrology because it's still fun for me right now. It's just I don't want to be analyzing it as much as I had before. I don't know, just like it's funny, my Gene Keys says this, that a big part of my purpose in this life and what I'm here to do is I have a hidden purpose, and part of my journey is realizing that my outer journey doesn't matter, and controlling my outer goals, like manifesting things, doesn't matter, and that life is going to become way more a part of my inner journey. And I'm here to experience life, and that every life experience will just crack my heart wide open with the sheer mystery of life. And I really do feel like that's what's happened throughout my life, is I've really gone from learning and trying to reach goals and build certain things to realizing that I don't care about achieving things. I don't care about having the goal of making a ton of money, and I don't care about any goal anymore. I really just care about living my life every day the way I want to, and following the fun and doing what's fun and allowing life to unfold. And I really believe that's what we're here to do. I've really come to realize that we're here to just learn lessons and experience and get to feel and touch and taste and love. And that's another thing my Gene Key says I'm here to do. It says I'm here to love another more than anything. And I know that's true for me, because the love I have in my heart for people, when you're in my heart and I love you more than anything. And when I love something like astrology, or whether it was nutrition or cannabis, I love it more than anything. It's funny because before I read that in my Gene Keys, I'd always tell Ryan, I love you more than anything. And then it said in my Gene Keys, you're here to love another more than anything. I'm like, that makes sense. That checks out. So this is where I am on my journey right now. I'm going to keep posting to this podcast for as long as it feels good. I'm going to keep talking about astrology for as long as it feels good. But let me know what you think about the Reddit stories. If you want some advice, some life advice, and you want to give me some scenarios, I'll put a form down below. It's a completely different episode, very off script. And it's just me and my adventures. So I love you. I want to get to know you more. Feel free to email me anytime. I'll put my email down below. Let's hang out. Let's talk. I just want to have more friends. I want people to be like, yeah, this is me. I resonate. Let's talk. And I'll see you on the next episode.